Hello and welcome to the Unlucky Podcast. I had this whole nice list made out of talking points and things that I needed to say, and it was going to be nice and proper, but apparently I didn't save the shit, so here we are again with me having no idea what I was going to talk about, other than the fact that it has been forever since I've made one of these, like almost 2 months maybe. I don't really have a reason other than just I haven't felt like making a podcast episode. I've been working on a lot lately, just trying to come up with video ideas, just little sketch ideas, and it's not that I'm not having ideas, it's that I'm having ideas that I can't do right now. Because of the social distancing type of weird thing that we're in. And I have a story that I can tell you guys here in a minute that's gonna really just completely shit on all of that. But it's hard to make videos or just sketches when it's just yourself and you don't have certain things, because if I had a shit ton of props, then I could just make something happen, but it's limited resources / limited fucking people, and it's just not the right environments for my kind of comedy to come out. So I'm not saying that, I'm not gonna make any more or anything. I'm just saying that what I'm coming out with, don't watch one video and think, oh, that's his stuff, that's what he's gonna make, because it's not. Every video that I make, yeah, they might be the kind of same stupid, cringy, oh my god, I can't believe I watched that type of feeling, but they're gonna be different. They're gonna still have my flavor on them, but I don't want to make any video the same exact way. And yeah, I came out with the dog videos, but those are supposed to be the same type of fucking videos, just it's a story, you know what I mean? And that might be what happens with a lot of my videos. They might end up just being stories that you have to just wait for the next installment of or whatever. But that's not what I plan on doing. I'm struggling right now with deciding how much I should post in a week, because there's times where I post none, and there's times where I post 4 videos in a week, 2 videos in one day, and it's like, man, that's a lot considering how sporadic I am, It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think I'm going to settle on 2 videos a week. What those 2 videos... And I think I've settled on I'm going to do 2 videos a week. What those 2 videos are going to be, I have no idea. I'm not including the podcast in those 2 videos because, as you can see now, I haven't addressed it yet, almost 4 minutes into the podcast, but we have video. I'm sitting here recording this, and yeah, sitting here on the little couch, just having us a nice little couch conversation, in my Jelly Roll hoodie that I get a lot of funny looks about, sex, drugs, and Jelly Roll. Get a lot of funny faces from older people and some younger people about this. And if you can't see what it is, then it's a shirt that literally says what I just said: sex, drugs, and Jelly Roll. It's kind of funny though, because I walk up to somebody smiling, oh hey, how are you doing? and I'm wearing this and they look at that and then they look at me, especially when I have my hair cut and I look less like a hoodlum, you know? Like I'm all shaved up and looking nice and everything, and they're like, this doesn't make any sense. What? And I got up and walked around looking for something that wasn't even going to be that funny. I was just going to put it on, and I was just going to put it on and just make a bad joke, but then I realized it was a bad joke, so I just continued recording. Okay, see, that list would have helped me right now, because I wouldn't have had to do this right here. I could have just went on to the next talking point. If... What happened? Okay. The whole reason that I haven't made any more podcast episodes is just because it hasn't felt like the right climate, you know? What I do in the podcast isn't really a positive thing. And I'm not saying I'm negative all the time, but I'm just saying, like, I talk a lot of shit about little things, and I'm just an angry person altogether, and I just didn't feel like right now that needed to come out into the podcast form. Yeah, a lot of people are bored, and maybe I could have got a couple more views, because I did on my older episodes, but I haven't felt like it was the right time to do all that shit yet. But now, not that it's completely calmed down, but I feel like everything's like kind of slowly lightening up, and it's just gonna end up probably getting worse, but we will deal with that when it happens. Drinking my green tea, you know, because even though green tea is not the best for you either, I've been drinking way too much Coke. And if you're not from Tennessee, Coke doesn't mean just Coca-Cola. It can mean Mountain Dew. It can mean fucking Dr. Pepper. And another thing that other people from the South may not know, another drink called Ski. It could be any of that. You say, get me a Coke. And then you have to ask, okay, what do you want? You don't come back with a Coca-Cola, because I don't like it. I don't want that. And then I came up here to Indiana and everybody calls it pop. And that sounds so much weirder to me, calling it pop. Let me get a pop. Like, no, I don't want popped. You know, I want, because you go... I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't want popped, okay? I feel like that's just such a weird thing to me, how it can go from let me get a Coke to a pop to a soda pop, you know? Let me get a soda pop. Like, that just sounds so fucking weird, does it not? God. Okay, I talked about my videos. That's checked. Talked about how we're in video. That's another check. Talked about COVID, kind of. So that's like a half check. You ever do those? It's not a full check, but it's like checked enough, you know? So I paused between now and where we stopped because I was doing some shit, but I went back and I listened to what I said before, and if you didn't hear it, go back and listen to it. At the beginning, I said I didn't make the podcast because I didn't want to, and then I don't need a reason, and then I give you a reason, and that's some shit I do all the time. I don't know, I've probably done a lot in the podcast without even listening to it, because I don't listen to most of the things I do. And that's another thing with my videos too. I don't go back and watch them. Stupidest thing to do when you're making stuff. I do one takes and I quickly edit and throw it together, and that's what you fucking get. And they're not always bad, but they could be better, you know? If I would do more takes or just spend a little bit more time editing. But now editing isn't only my problem anymore. In my last in my last video, I talked about it. I finally got Ryan to do my editing. He just went and got himself a nice little, not little, but a nice computer. Got him a good setup going, and I told him if you edit my videos, then we could work out a deal and make something happen. So now we did, and he's going to be editing my longer videos, not the podcast and stuff. I'm going to stay in control of this for right now, because mostly it's not going to be a lot of edits and stuff. It's going to be just this, just us sitting here and talking, and I'm going to cut out some of the little shit you don't need to see and the stupid stuff that I don't mean to say. Until this gets too much for me, then I'm still going to edit this, and my shorter, like minute long videos, I'm going to do that. But the longer ones, he's going to edit, and you'll be able to tell a difference in the editing styles, because he does his with care and I do mine without. But yeah, if you like the way he's doing it, tell me, put a comment down there, whatever. Maybe I'll get him to do all of them, but for now, I'm gonna stay in control of some of it, other than just like the recording part, and I'm gonna let him do some of the editing and see what happens. I mean, that last video that we put out with the rap review, I was really happy with it. I like what he did with it, because I do say a lot, and he cut out a fuck ton of them, and also made that little slow-mo thing, and every time I hear it I just laugh, because you know that's what I'm doing all of this for, is to be laughed at, and it's funny seeing shit like that. Let's see. I have another video that is partially made, okay? And I'm not gonna tell you what was happening in the video, but I'm going to tell you a story that happened while we tried to make this happen, okay? So, while we was doing the whole social distancing lockdown thing, I talked to my friend Tevin, T. Kane, and I always do that. I always call him Tevin and then T. Kane, even though he told me just to call him T. Kane. But it's fuck, you know, it's hard. I ain't gonna make people call me unlucky, because I don't want people to just call me that, you know? I want people to call me Dustin, fuck. But I hit him up and I was like, hey, I know it's just you and your wife at your house. Is it cool if I come down and kick it for a couple days? We'll record a video and just chill. And he said, yeah, that's fine. Just let me know when you're coming down. So I texted him that night, said that, and then the next morning, this was like Monday night, I texted him, and then Tuesday morning I woke up and just started driving down there. Didn't text anybody, forgot all about texting anybody. Well, I text everybody except for him, kind of. Like my family knew I left, and Ryan knew I was coming down. But I just forgot to message him, and then I just showed up at his house and was like, what's up, man? And he was like, oh shit, what's up? Like, I knew you were coming, I just didn't know when. And I was like, damn, dude, my bad, I forgot all about it. But, you know, we got there, everything was cool. And I told him, I said, man, we need to figure out an idea for a video. I got this money right here, I can spend it so we can have a good video, you know, just something that's going to be fun. And I was like, wait, we need alcohol. So I gave the money to Tara, his wife, and said, go get some alcohol. I don't want to know what you got. Oh, she did. She went and got it, and I rode with her, the whole time. Didn't see none of it. Speaking of which, she is terrifying when she fucking drives. She said she got in that motherfucker and she goes, I'm about to rag this fucking thing out. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's not gonna be that bad. Oh God, she would fucking... As soon as she sat down in the seat, pedal was all the way to the floor, and then, like, her foot didn't have nothing but lead in it. It was fucking wild. But we didn't die, so it's all good. Yeah, she goes and she gets the alcohol, and then we get back, and we got everything set up to make the video, right? Well, then Tevin says, well, he had already told me this, but doing everything took longer than we expected, and it got to be later in the day, and Tevin said, hey, the guy here that I'm going to help record and mix his shit is here, so I can't make the video right now. You two just make your part. And we was like, okay. Me and the other person was like, okay, me and him will just do our part, and you can do yours later, right? Cool. Then probably 2-3 more people show up, and they're like, oh, hey, what's up? Can we listen to some music or what the fuck ever? I don't know what they came over to do. And then they started seeing alcohol, which was like blocked from my and the other person in the video's view, because we was trying not to look at it, and they were sitting there like talking and fucking around with it, and I just had to say, like, hey, none of that is for anything except for what we're doing in this video. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I don't fuck with y'all to be in my video, and that's what that's for, Like, if the idea for the video was to have a party, then that's cool. But that wasn't the idea for the video, so you guys can go ahead and know that the whole idea wasn't for a fucking party, okay? And then it just so happens that, okay, they go and then they leave, and then the people that are recording, me and Ryan, we get to do our thing, and you'll see that in the video. And then I get a text, and it's Andrew. Andrew, he's been in the podcast, and he said, hey, I'm in town, what are you doing? I had to say, hey, I'm over at Tevin's house. There's a couple people here, so you guys can stay outside, and we will come and we'll talk to you, And it was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. So he came over, and then we was talking, and then there was people inside doing their thing, and by this point, I had already had the alcohol in me, and I'm not going to talk much about that part because, you're going to see it in the video. The video's coming out, but it just got really out of control, and it got really wild out of nowhere. And then once everybody had left, and then it was just me, T-Kane, and Tara again, he looked at me and he was like, man, how the fuck did that turn into a party? I gotta go to work in the morning. And I was like, I don't fucking know, man. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but I feel like it was my fault. So I'm just gonna apologize. But all in all, that video, it was fun to make, and it's a lot. It's a lot of fucking footage. It took a long time recording the shit. But I hope it's gonna come out as a good one. I'm going to be having a lot more just what do you call them? React or try not to videos coming out. But I'm gonna have my own little twist on them, and it's just because I watch a lot of them, but then it's literally just them reacting to it, and then you go to the next video. But I don't know, that's just not entertaining enough for me, so I'm gonna try and turn it up a notch and see what fucking happens, If people like it, then I'll keep doing it. If not, I ain't gonna keep doing what my idea is, because it can go bad. It's hard to talk about ideas with them not being out already. I want to talk about some of the videos that I do have out already. Let's talk about the wolf who cried boy. But before we get on with that, let's go ahead and get this camera change and let's talk about Anchor. If you don't know what Anchor is, you obviously haven't listened to the podcast yet. Anchor is what I use to record this podcast, and it's honestly maybe the easiest way to start making your own podcast. It can edit, distribute, add music, sounds, just like little beeps and boops and whatever fucking shit you want to throw in there, you know. It can do it all. Anchor's great. You can even get paid by sponsors through Anchor for doing what I'm doing right now, talking to you about making the podcast. I'm getting paid for doing this. How easy is that? You could be doing it, but you're not. Why? Just go to anchor.fm or the Google Play Store, iTunes Store, whatever the fuck it is. Go and download Anchor. Make your own podcast. It's this easy. The Boy Who Cried Wolf video. The idea came from Ryan. And it was just one of those ideas. We were sitting there just talking, you know, spitting ideas back and forth. And when he said it, just like he said the wolf who cried boy, and then said, you know, every time that this wolf tries to do something cool, whether it is or not, he screams boy. And, you know, that was kind of like the whole premise he gave me, and I was like, man, that's fucking hilarious. Like, let me just kind of think on it for a minute. And, you know, I did, and I was like, okay, let me tell it like it is a children's story, and maybe just make it cheesy as fuck. And, you know, I'm as happy with that video as I am anything else I've put out. It's stupid, it's short, and at that very last shot where I had a piece of wood and I threw it behind my back, it doesn't look impressive. I will give you that. It looks like it's like right behind me and I just like kind of dropped the wood back. But that was like 6-7 feet behind me. You can't tell because I'm standing up on a little hill and it's whatever. You don't have to believe me, internet. It's okay. You do not have to believe me, but just know in my heart, I thought it was pretty fucking cool. But that's just the stupid little stuff that I really enjoy making because it doesn't take long. And that's the stuff I'm going to be editing. The stuff that I can just fucking, boom, made. But I've talked enough about that. I've talked more or less like 20 minutes about that. This whole episode is more or less just going to be a catch up with what I've been doing. And also what I've been doing is I started a small like side business. It's not legitimized. Oh, I don't think you heard that burp, but it was there. Oh, it's like one of those like hiccup burps. But I went around and it's more or less like house and yard maintenance kind of. I'm pressure washing houses and, you know, I'll redo your whole landscape. It's like, it's more or less me just going out and redoing the outside of people's houses. And why did I think of the whole thing? I was like, well, I can get a pressure washer pretty cheap and I'll pressure wash people's houses. Started doing that, made a little bit of money, you know, bought enough to pay the pressure washer off and a little bit on top of that. And I said, well, let me just add some more stuff on. And it's nothing that's substantial yet, but it's a nice little side hustle while I'm doing all my other side hustles. So it's like, at some points it's a lot to focus on. But that's the good thing, I guess, about having a lot of different things to do, is that I'm able to focus on all of them at once. You know, like with this stuff, I can be thinking about video ideas all the time while I'm out there sit there like, what's the word? Thoughtlessly, just sitting there spraying people's houses, you know, because it doesn't take a lot of focused in concentration to spray like mold and stuff off people's houses with water, you know. You just gotta not like mess up the paint or nothing. And I can be sitting there with my headphones in, listening to music, coming up with ideas, so it works out. But it's the thing to where, you could definitely see it in that wolf video, I was fucking sunburnt, like ridiculously, and it did not feel comfortable to sleep. And I was laying there just, you know, just like those inner, just deep moans of sadness that you just, you know, it's just pain. But I finally got over that pretty well, and I can sleep without crying like a little fucking bitch now. So we're all good. I don't know. I think that kind of wraps up a lot of what I've done lately. I don't know where I left off in the last episode of this fucking podcast because, you know, I don't listen to them. I'm going to have to start employing people to tell me what the fuck I need to do and like making their own lists of shit for me to talk about. So if you want that to be your job, what's up? I probably won't hire you. I'll just try to get my own shit together. But that won't happen. That's really all I feel like recording. So, best of luck.